Present, practice, produce. First, the teacher presents an item of language in a clear context to get across its meaning. Students are then asked to complete a controlled practice stage. Finally, they move on to the production stage, sometimes called the freer practice stage. A task-based approach. In a task-based lesson, the teacher doesn't predetermine what language will be studied. The lesson is based around the completion of a certain task or central task, and the language studied is determined by what happens as the students complete it. The lesson follows certain stages. Pre-task. The teacher introduces the topic and gives the students clear instructions on what they will have to do at the task stage and might help the students to recall some language that may be useful for the task. Task. The students complete a task in pairs or groups using the language resources that they have as the teacher monitors and offers encouragement. Planning. Students prepare a short oral or written report to tell the class what happened during their task. Report. Students then report back to the class orally or read their written report. Analysis. The teacher then highlights relevant parts from the text on the recording for the students to analyze. They may ask students to notice interesting features within this text. The teacher can also highlight the language that the students use during the report phase for analysis. Practice. Finally, the teacher selects language areas to practice based upon the needs of the students and what emerged from the task and report phrases. The students then do practice activities to increase their confidence and make a note of useful language. The advantages of TBL. Unlike a PPP approach, the students are free of language control. In all three stages, they must use all their language resources rather than just practicing one pre-selected item. The students will have a much more varied exposure to language with TBL. They will be exposed to a whole range of lexical phrases, collocations, patterns, as well as language forms. The language explored areas from students' needs. This needs dictate what will be covered in the lesson rather than a decision made by the teacher or the course book. It is a strong communicative approach where students spend a lot of time communicating. PPP lessons seem very teacher-centered by comparison. Just watch how much time the students spend communicating during a task-based lesson. It is very enjoyable and motivating.